especially now that I'm helping out with the theater stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's one of the things I'm like, oh yeah, that's a muscle you have to exercise.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised I didn't throw my voice out from the concert last night.
Oh yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, surviving from a concert last night, we have Mr. Eric O'Donnell. Mr. Eric, you got Gwar'd.
I got Gwar'd. I survived an encounter with Gwar'd.
You were very juicy afterwards.
Yeah, I was covered in fake blood and fake bodily fluids. Like green and purple and red, mostly red.
I would think so.
I wore a white shirt and a denim vest that was with no patches on it yet, because that vest is going to be my metal vest, and it's going to have a giant Gwar'd back patch. So I wanted to get it covered. I wanted to get that covered in Gwar'd blood before I sewed anything on it.
Yeah. Now I don't know exactly how you do it, but you need a way to set the stain in.
I know. I was told, like, don't wash it. And I'm like, all right, I'll just like Febreze it.
Yeah, I mean it's denim.
It's denim.
You usually don't, like with jeans. You want to wash them like once every other week or something.
And then with the shirt, I was told just don't wash the shirt to get so the stains will stay. I even just wrote on the shirt. The shirt is like, it was white, now it's like pink and red and shit. I wrote with a paint marker on it. I wrote Gwar'd was here on the shirt. Nice. So. And I'm wearing my Gwar'd shirt that I got from the concert last night.
An appropriate beginning to the September spooky season.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen this band, or if you're just hearing about them now, I highly recommend them. If you like metal.
If you like getting covered in fluids.
Yeah. If you like horror movies, like if you like moshing in fake blood, while listening to these guys sing about going berserker mode, or and also killing in quotations a bunch of people on stage,
and killing in effigy.
Yeah, and killing in effigy. They killed Joe Biden. They killed Trump. They killed zombie Confederate and Union soldiers, and they also. The gimmick for the show was there was like this AI that was in the shape of a platypus that was like being a dick to them, and they brought him out in like physical form and killed this green platypus, and that spouted green blood everywhere.
That's one of the reasons why when we were talking about this earlier, I said they have the same energy in the opposite direction of the Aquabats.
Yeah.
I have been very sad that I've not gotten to see an Aquabats live show that involves combat.
Yeah,
but I know that they used to do that a lot.
They used to do it a lot. The show I saw did not have combat in it.
I would watch videos when I first got into the Aquabats, and like Powdered Milkman would come on stage and they'd fight him, and then they'd have DDR competitions with the crowd and stuff like that. And I was like,
man, the glory is Aquabats are like Ultraman, like a Ultraman tokusatsu. Style, and then versus Gwar'd is like is this horror. Like Gwar'd is like Ren and Stimpy horror.
Yeah, and like 70s fantasy horror.
Yeah, 70s. Yeah, there's a 70s late 80s fantasy horror, and then Aquabats is just like Power Rangers.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Hello, welcome to our haunted backyard. That was mostly in unison.
We did it.
This is the show where we talk about country road cryptids, small town spooky, and other local legends.
You didn't have to look off the business card.
I had that one memorized.
Yeah. That was so. We just spent 18 minutes talking about movies. Most of it, and comics, which is easy for us to do.
We're back together, and it feels so good.
Yeah, we're back in the same room.
Back to beers in our backyard.
It is. What is this one? This is the Oktoberfest?
This is the Great Lakes Oktoberfest.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I really like this.
It is out of all of the Oktoberfests, even the actual German Oktoberfest beers I get. Yeah. This is like one of my go-tos.
I'm a big fan of the Oktoberfest style of beers. Like, oh my god, that was loud. That was my phone. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We can also pause for a second because Swaggers does now want to be out.
Go ahead, Swaggers.
I'm sorry, Sophie.
Sorry, Sophie.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like this, it's one of my favorite Oktoberfests. I like the style a lot.
I really like the Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. Like that was the first Oktoberfest beer like I had when I was like just getting into drinking. But yeah, I really like Oktoberfest stuff. I'm still waiting on my favorite seasonal offering from Voodoo Ranger to come around. Their Atomic Pumpkin beer.
I used to be really into pumpkin beers.
I'm still very into pumpkin beers. The Atomic Pumpkin from Voodoo Ranger is really different because not only is it a pumpkin beer, but it's a spicy pumpkin beer. Mm-hmm. And it's...
That's the thing. When I liked
good.
pumpkin ales, it was usually like I wanted to be more on the spiced end. But so much now it's spicy, but it's also sweet.
Oh, and this one goes full on the spicy where like I would like you like feel it. It's really good.
I was really big into pumpkin for a long time.
Pumpkin is good.
Which they only sold for a long time in like the 16-ounce bottles.
Yeah.
And then they started selling them in 4-packs. And especially at that point in time, because I wasn't making a lot of money, I wouldn't do 4-packs of beers, especially like if it was going to be like a $15 4-pack.
Yeah.
But then I went to Kroger one day.
Yeah.
And they had they had like a well-stocked make your own 6-pack.
Yeah.
And they had pumpkin in the make your own 6-pack.
Nice.
For $10. So I got 6 beers for less than what the 4-pack.
Yeah. Also, I just want to give a shout out to the Vogue where I saw Gwar'd last night. Mm-hmm. Cheapest beer I've ever had so far at a venue like that.
I feel like that should be a like goal of a venue is like sell cheap beer because then you can sell more of it.
Yeah, because when I went to the Back on Attack tour with Bowling for Soup, Aquabats, and Less Than Jake, I went to that in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. No, Columbus. I went to that in Columbus. And I can't remember the name of the venue, but strike one, they didn't have PBR. That's strike one. Strike two was I had to pay $7 for a Bud Light.
When I went and saw Impact Wrestling, I think my beer, and admittedly, it was like 20-ounce can. Big beer, $11.
Yeah, mine was like a tall boy, but it was still like $7. I can get a tall boy Bud Light for like $2.50.
Yeah,
like at a gas station.
But at the same time, like a lot of venues, that's how they're going to make their money.
Exactly,
it's like with movie theaters and the concession stand.
Yeah,
they're not making movie theaters don't actually make money off of movies.
They don't.
So they have to make money off of concessions.
Yeah, but the Vogue in Indianapolis, where I went to go see Gwar'd, they had PBR, so check. Mm-hmm. And then the PBR was only $3, and itself was a tall boy.
That's solid.
Yeah, I was stoked.
If I ever get to live out my cottagecore dreams and have some land where I can build things, I will build a music venue and serve cheap beer there.
Yay, thank you, yeah.
But it'll probably mostly just be like folk bands.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll get you to pull Gwar'd into it once.
Gwargrass. Can we convince Gwar'd to do bluegrass?
Probably not.
Sing all the same songs, just play banjos instead.
They have done some weird experimental songs, like one album they go from like a heavy ass like War on Gwar'd, and the song called War on Gwar'd from Blood of the Gods, which is like my favorite album from them. And then they'll go to Phantom Limb, which is like a fucking hard ass ballad. Mm-hmm. It's about how like I don't quote me on it, but I think it's about how their past lead singer died. Because one of the lyrics is "I can feel you like a phantom limb," and I'm just like, but go see Gwar'd, they're great.
We also have an email.
Yes, we do.
It's a short one. Yeah, it's from our friend Maddie, who says, "Hey guys, trying to do some research on this building in particular because there is some documented tragedy that could potentially point to some legitimate haunting. There are definitely more well-known hauntings in Columbus: the Green Lawn Abbey, Gay Mausoleum, Abraham Lincoln appearing in the State House, which I like.
Wow. Okay.
Is it like?" Because I'm sure there's other places that have Abraham Lincoln ghosts. Is there more than one Abraham Lincoln ghost?
Oh my God, is there more than one Abraham Lincoln ghost?
And is one of them like the real Abraham Lincoln? The other ones are impersonators, and he sues them.
Whoa! was one of them is that how we got Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Which I legitimately actually love that movie.
Don't quote me on this. I'd have to do some research. I almost like half believe there is a Dayton Abraham Lincoln haunting, because we also have he stopped in Dayton during his
campaign
during his campaigning.
Like, why? But he didn't like die here.
Yeah, he didn't die in Columbus either.
Yeah, but so, like, I don't know. I'm like, that's so weird.
Yeah, I could probably theorize about that, but I will try to keep calm this episode. Abraham Lincoln appears in the State House, and the Elevator Brewing Company is haunted by the ghost of a colonel who had a history of pissing on people's boots. Appropriate location for a piss ghost is a brewing company, I think.
A brewing company. Yeah. Oh my god.
So was he pissing on people's boots in life or as a ghost?
And also, was it a punishment or was that just like his thing?
Was that just like, yeah, like I'm the piss colonel.
Yeah, like
I piss on you.
God, I don't like. Oh my god, I hate the term piss colonel.
Now you see, Sheldon, I'm the piss colonel.
It's just, and then you just hear a constant like as he's talking.
It's how you assert dominance.
Oh my god.
Piss colonel's apparently Sean Connery. Just a little bit of Sean Connery.
And it's like, oh man, it's like that steam rising up for when like it's a cold morning and you pee.
It's how you keep warm, son.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on from piss colonel. This is probably my favorite in the area. The building itself is imposing. And although only one of the facade remains, you can see the gargoyles and carved faces that adorned the entrance to the school, including a trio of hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil faces.
Cool.
Specifically, she's referring to the Columbus, Ohio, the Ohio School for the Deaf and Dumb. I started doing a little bit of research on it. This is the picture.
That that looks cool, though.
Yeah, we'll post it. It is very cool. It's like the only building... part of the original building that's left standing.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's now home to the Cristo Rey Columbus High School.
Okay.
Originally, it was called the Ohio Institution. Well, originally, so back in the early 1800s, a Reverend James Hogue was like, we need to build a school for deaf people.
Yeah,
really
okay.
Cool. Got the... Ohio legislator to do a census of deaf people in Ohio. And it was like, we have enough people. We should have a school.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool for 1800s person.
Yeah.
That's more progressive than I would have figured an 1800s person would be.
It was one of those things I had forgotten. The Ohio Constitution actually has like a big focus on education. Wow. And how everybody is supposed to have equal access to like high quality education. And so multiple times the Ohio education system, like the school systems, have been ruled unconstitutional by the Ohio State Supreme Court.
Wow.
But nothing ever changes.
But nothing changes because the entire American school system is flawed.
But yeah, so in 1826, he created the Asylum for the Education of the Deaf and Dumb. And the next year, the legislator changed it to the Institution for the Education of the Deaf and Dumb. Yeah. And then eventually into the Ohio School for the Deaf. And yeah, it's been around since the mid-1800s, mostly in this one location. It ended up being a pretty sprawling campus. Yeah. And the Cristo Rey building was built as part of, like, it was a high school attached to the broader campus. Yeah. And then, I guess they just let it go to shit, for lack of a better term. Yeah, okay. And so that in, like, 79 through 81... there were like 15 fires.
Holy shit.
And there were holes in the floors, and the Ohio Arson Office was like, we need to shut this building down.
One fire is too many fires.
Yeah, no, there was like 15. Oh, God. So that's as much research as I've been able to do.
If your building has one fire in it, that's too many fires.
That's too many. Well, one fire can be understandable. 2 fires, you're like, okay, maybe we need to like get a better sprinkler system in here. Maybe. 15's like...
what are
neglect?
You doing?
That's like criminal neglect.
That's criminal neglect on that building. Like you gotta think at like the 5th fire. They're like, come on, guys.
But I did find an article from the 80s that had a picture of some of the facades.
Oh,
so you can see this this kind of this looks kind of like a cherub. Maybe?
Kind of.
It's got a little like ruffly hat, I think, or maybe that's its hair.
I'm thinking that's its hair.
And I like this Wilford Brimley monk.
Yeah,
he's like, diabetes.
Yeah, he does look like very much like Wilford Brimley.
He's got that good mustache.
He's got a very nice mustache, I will admit.
But yes, thank you so much, Maddie. And if you find more information, please let us know. It is definitely the kind of building that I would research more and like do an episode on. So,
definitely.
Thank you so much. And if you have any stories or research that you've done, feel free to email us at hauntedbackyardcast@gmail.com.
Yes, please do.
All right, so without further ado-s.
Yes.
Eric O'Donnell.
I apologize if this episode is pretty scatterbrained, because not only am I like very tired from a concert that I last night, but I had started researching something else. I started researching this insane asylum in Athens.
Oh, the Ridges.
Yeah, the Ridges. I had started researching that, and I'm like, it has so much on it. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to give this the mental focus it deserves.
Yeah,
because
there's a huge one.
That's a huge topic, and I'm not going to be able to give this thing the mental focus.
I got to go hiking out in the Ridges. I never went inside the buildings.
Yeah,
I do have a friend who went inside the buildings. Mm-hmm. I asked him about it. He doesn't want to talk about it, A, because I do think it legitimately freaked him out. B, he was also very, very drunk at the time, so I don't know how much of it he remembers.
That's fair, but if he doesn't want to talk about it, I understand. But, so, I was researching something else to do, and I came upon what is supposedly the most haunted city in Ohio. Waynesville, Ohio.
Home to the Renaissance Festival adjacent.
Yeah, so I thought that was also topical, because the Renaissance Festival has officially started. We talked about that in our last episode. And it's getting to the month where this town is going to start offering their ghost tours and ghost stuff. Mm-hmm. So, haunting is big business for this town. So I figured I could talk about it, especially one of the most haunted buildings in Waynesville, Ohio, the Hamill House Hotel. And
the Mark Hamill House.
The Mark Hamill House. But like a little history on Waynesville, Ohio, is founded in 1797, and it was named for General Mad Anthony Wayne.
Friend of the show.
Member
of the Society of Cincinnati.
Yeah. Did he? Yeah. Oh,
yeah, it's that guy. It's
that same guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy. The Wayne Township, or the Fort Wayne up in Defiance.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But it's also claimed to fame is the antique capital of the Midwest.
There's some solid antiquing out there.
Solid antiquing stores. It also is home to the annual Ohio Sauerkraut Festival, which I hate.
It's so bad.
I absolutely hate the Sauerkraut Festival. Sorry if you're a fan of it. I cannot stand that fucking Sauerkraut Festival.
It makes everything at the festival so difficult. So the Renaissance Festival and the Sauerkraut Festival happen at, they overlap. And Sauerkraut Festival weekend makes everything difficult.
It sucks, because not only, I camp now at the festival grounds, but, when I did not do that, traffic, I'd have to leave, an extra, hour early when the Sauerkraut Festival was going on, just to get to the site on time. Mm-hmm. And not only that, you have people that go to the Sauerkraut Festival and then go to the Renaissance Festival, and
wild
choice. And I'm sorry if this makes you mad, I'm sorry, but usually 9 times out of 10, with a few exceptions, the people who make the day out of going to the Sauerkraut Festival and then going to the Renaissance Festival are just the worst types of crowd. Mm-hmm. They're the same kind of people that the people who go to both festivals in one day are the people that treat the Ohio Renaissance Festival like an outdoor mall. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but this is going to be really harsh. I don't like you if you treat the Renaissance Festival like an outdoor mall.
Yeah, it's a Renaissance Festival.
It's a Renaissance Festival.
Go see somebody put fire in their face.
Go see Travis put fire in his mouth. Go see Angie and Michael fucking climb on each other and hold on to fucking circus rings. Yeah. Go see the pirates hit each other with swords. It's something. Go see a music person. Yeah. Go see one of the many, many, many musical acts that are out there. Don't just walk a loop and around a shop and get food and leave. Yeah. Sorry. PSA. There's so much more to do than treat that place as an outdoor mall. But yeah, they, like I said, they offer ghost history walks, and it's funded by this museum that's in Waynesville. I love the name of the museum. It's the museum at the Friends home.
Yeah, it's Quakers.
It's Quakers.
Quakers are cool. I like Quakers.
It's located in the Waynesville Quaker Hill Historical District.
Yeah. I've always been very sad that
getting to the actual hauntings, I'm going to be reading this from Warren County, Ohio's largest playground website. And along with being the antique capital of the world and the host of Sauerkraut Festival, there is a lot of hauntings in Waynesville. There's a ton of haunted stuff in Waynesville.
I want to know if there is some connection between sauerkraut and ghosts now.
It's like a lure for ghosts.
Yeah, like what if Waynesville is like slowly like trying to like steal all the ghosts from America?
Oh my god, it's like the haunted mansion at Disney World where it's like, oh, happy haunts inquire within. Mm-hmm. And like it's like a vacation home for ghosts. But the most haunted building supposedly is the Hamel House Inn. Not the Mark Hamill House, but is the Hamel House Inn.
What if it is, though? What if he lives there and we don't know it?
Oh my god, if he lives there.
Drinking his blue milk.
Just drinking his blue milk and doing Joker impressions. Mm-hmm. This account comes from someone whose like son took a job at the Hamel House Inn, because not only is it a hotel, it's also like it's a bed and breakfast. It's like it's also like a restaurant you can just go in and eat. And on at least 2 occasions, he heard a crying girl in the basement of this establishment.
That would bother me right on. Like even if it's not a ghost, I'm just like, ugh.
Oh yeah. He heard a crying girl in the basement. His coworker reported a similar experience and claiming he also heard a voice of a young girl say, "Hurry up."
Oh no.
Yeah. There have been instances of glasses sliding off tables and with no explanation, just like glasses just being slid off tables.
Ghost dickery.
Ghost dickery. Like poltergeist ghost dickery. According to some of the older people, that the basement and the tunnels of that, I think there's also supposedly tunnels under it, but the basement mainly of the Hamel House was part of the Underground Railroad. Mm-hmm. So that could explain the crying girl. Possibly.
Does it list any theories about?
It doesn't really list any theories about the crying girl. Mm-hmm. It does go on to say that is an uncommon experience.
Okay.
The most common is with the room called room number 4.
The most intimidating even number.
Yeah, the most intimidating even number. Said, while accounts of the crying girl in the Hamel House basement are less common, guests and staff at the restaurant and inn reportedly routinely report encounters with 2 other ghostly apparitions. My favorite of the ghostly apparitions is a cat.
Oh,
it's a ghost cat.
Ghost biscuits.
It's a ghost cat that makes ghost biscuits. He is known for leaving his fur where he is at. Like, you can see his ghost fur.
I'm just glad I don't have ghost allergies.
Yeah, exactly. They're on another website, Springfield News. It talks about an encounter with ghost cat, and it says, we've heard a story about a story of a cat. So that didn't startle him. He just figured it was a cat. So this person sees a cat in a chair. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, look, a cat. And then he finds, and then it's like gone, after he turns away, and then he finds cat hair, just where the cat was, but doesn't see this cat anymore. And these people would keep finding cat hair, and they know the inn doesn't have any cats. And apparently, a little girl was sitting at a table, and after she left dinner. She had a cat print on her pant leg.
Oh, it's so cute.
Because he was making little cat bean, the ghost cat beans.
The ghost beans.
Ghost beans. And they don't have just cats roaming around in this inn. So there's no explanation for that. And one of the funniest stories was a lady who was sitting at a table with her husband and with her husband, sister, and brother-in-law. She asked, "Why is my brother-in-law rubbing my leg with his foot?" He wasn't rubbing her leg.
No, it's a ghost cat.
It was a ghost cat.
It was a ghost cat. Totally.
It was a ghost cat. But yeah, so there's a ghost cat, and I want to go to this place just to have a ghost cat encounter and maybe have some ghost beans.
Yeah, so far the crying girl in the basement, not great.
Not great.
But if the main ghost is ghost cat, I'm pro.
Yeah.
If that's the spookiest it gets, I could stay the night there.
It does not. It gets spookier than that.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. It gets spookier than that because There is reportedly the most haunted room is room number 4, and it has a misty figure of a man that likes to appear in that room. And the story behind that is the general consensus is that it was a young traveling salesman who dealt in gems and jewelry who stopped at the Hamel House Inn a long time ago. A well-dressed man checked in but never checked out, and he was never seen again. The innkeeper at the time sold the travelers horses and carriage pretty quickly following his disappearance.
Oh no.
Leading to some to assume that the innkeeper murdered the man.
And then fed him to a cat.
And then reportedly dumped his body down the well.
Oh, so we've got a potential ring situation on our hands.
Some say that he confessed to this crime on his deathbed, the innkeeper, while many believe the spirit is that of the victimized traveler. Others claim that it is the innkeeper who feels so guilty about his crime that his own spirit is now stuck at the inn and prevented from moving on.
Okay, yeah, that'd have to be one that I would want to look into was there a disappearance of the salesman who was the
yes,
get a list of innkeepers and then try to figure out were there salesmen that disappeared?
Yeah, along with the haunted hotel, they have a haunted boutique in Waynesville.
Fancy.
Yeah.
White women love it.
Right. Buckeye Charm, a boutique owned by Jonah Powell on High Street.
Okay, yeah. I've not been in there, but I've been next to it. Was
featured on Travel Channel's paranormal investigation show, Ghost Nation. It was an episode that premiered on April 29th of, didn't tell me the year, but the episode's called An Unholy Haunting, which already red flags. The show features Jason Howes and Steve Gonslavs and Dave Tango of Taps.
Oh, cool.
Most if not the most famous, one of the most famous.
Yeah, probably right beneath what's it?
The ghost Zach Baggins.
Yeah,
boys.
Zach Baggins. Yeah,
Zach Baggins and his boys. Which you can have that name, Zach Baggins, if you want it. Zach Baggins and his boys. The property was built in 1877 as the St. Augustine's Catholic Church, and in 1976, it was sold to become a commercial building. During filming, a loud EVP, and for those of you who don't know, that means electronic voice phenomenon. It just means sounds that you hear in a tape recorder or from a spirit box or whatever that could be ghosts, could not. We can't really prove them. That's why they're called a phenomenon. But the recording was captured in the building with the words, "Hallowed be thy name."
I mean, makes sense. It was a church.
Makes sense. It was a church.
Though it was a church before Vatican II, so they were still doing stuff in Latin back then.
Exactly. So the crew was concerned that the voice was staged. Powell recalled because it was so loud and clear, they have had times in the past where people have tried to trick them. Yeah, there was that one totally understandable.
I remember one of when they were still doing Ghost Hunters, whichever their sci-fi show was.
Yeah, it was Ghost Hunters.
And they went to, I think it was not Ricky Bobby's, that's
Bobby Mackey's.
Bobby Mack's.
Yeah, Bobby Mackey's, not Ricky Bobby.
But yeah, I think it was Bobby Mack's where they had discovered there were actually motors in some of the light fixtures to make them spin.
Oh yeah.
And they got pissed off about that.
Yeah. Though, side note, I would go to a Ricky Bobby themed bar, from the Will Ferrell movie. I would totally go to that. That sounds awesome.
I was about to say they should just rebrand Bobby Mack's.
That would be so fucking cool. But yeah, they couldn't really prove that it wasn't anybody messing with them, but they did try to debunk it by the crew shutting down everything, turning off all the lights, and they stopped what they're doing and searched the speakers just to make sure it wasn't someone pulling something over on them. So they try to do they're like, hey, let's make sure no one's fucking with us, because that was way too loud and clear.
Yeah, I do appreciate, I am always a little hesitant to do big sciencey ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Because I think that it views ghosts as a scientific phenomenon, as a material phenomenon, essentially.
Right, essentially.
When they are kind of by definition non-material.
Yeah, and people get too hung up on the scientific aspect of them, where it's just maybe it's stuff that we're not we just can't
and
understand.
And if science deals with like the material, and this is something that's not material,
right?
Like it can't really measure this experience.
Exactly, it can't accurately measure the experience.
But I do appreciate that they are big on research, like learn the area and the history of the building, and trying to eliminate every possibility.
Exactly. That's what I like about their approach versus Zach Bagans' approach,
which is like, it's demons.
It's demons. It's monsters. Yell at the spirit. Call it a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, I would. Well, no, I wouldn't. Like, I would probably not do that. I would start crying.
Nah, I'm more if I have to pick my like who am I watching for ghosts, adventures, and ghost things. It's Shane and Ryan.
Yeah,
it's the Ghoul Boys.
Yeah,
I love those guys.
If anyone I know is going to go into a haunted building and start like calling the ghost a bitch, it's probably going to be Lex.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, that's fair. I could see Lex doing that. But moving right along in this very haunted town, there's also a haunted schoolhouse.
Yay!
Yay! Not the Dent Schoolhouse, that's a haunted attraction, but the haunted schoolhouse is the old Waynesville Union Schoolhouse that was built in 1891. The building is currently used for storage by the ghosts and by the American Legion Hall directly across from the museum. But quoting, after the new school was built up the hill, they shut it down and put the town library on the first floor in the basement. The American Legion had their bar where all the guys went, and it was the only place in town where you could drink. So, it wasn't a school for very long. It was a library and then a bar. Also a bar.
That's it. Like, I feel like every school should do that. Like, once somebody once the last kid graduates, now it's a bar. You don't bring any new children in.
Don't bring any new kids in.
They just start drinking there now.
It's just a bar now. I'm sorry. That's where it's going. The last kid graduate. I don't know what to do.
Now, sorry, we got to build a new school, I guess.
My hands are tied.
It's the law.
It's the law. I'm sorry. Since the museum had stored stories of happenings in the basement, Lee Allen, a local paranormal investigator, was consulted, and Lee brought in a psychic from Columbus, apparently. When she brought in the psychic, she claimed that there were some men and ladies who were in the basement at the Legion Hall, and there was apparently also a pool hall in there. Basically the psychic claimed to see two people and feel two people by the names of Ralph and Carl, which, sound like nice guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generic names.
Generic names. Their name that's quoted in, "So somebody touched my shoulder and I screamed. She said, their names are Ralph and Carl, and they really seriously want you to leave."
I mean, at least they're being polite.
Yeah, nothing else happened, so we eventually packed up and left. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know. The minute they're like,
this is Ralph and Carl, and they mean business.
The minute someone is who has an extra sensory thing to me is like, they want us to leave, I'd be like, okay, cool, I'm gone. Bye. Like, okay, cool, bye. You don't have to tell me twice. If they want me gone, they want me gone.
Are you familiar with the Estus Method?
No, I am not.
It's one that I've always been kind of interested in trying, but it is similar. It is somewhere between like bringing in a psychic and using a spirit box.
Okay. Where
you have somebody hooked up with headphones plugged in basically into a spirit box or to like a rapid, that's the way some of the spirit boxes work, where it's a basically rapidly moving through channels
at like the half a second.
Yeah.
Radio channels.
So they've got the headphones plugged into that, and then and they're supposed to be like soundproof headphones.
Yeah.
And then like a blackout mask, sometimes they'll use like a helmet.
There is a paranormal doc on YouTube that I've been meaning to watch.
Hell yeah.
And by these guys, I think Charm City Paranormal. It got recommended me via TikTok. And they do that method.
Yeah, I first saw it from Hellier, which is another YouTube paranormal documentary.
Yeah.
Which is, they're actually the couple who are kind of the leads in it are from Cincinnati.
Oh, cool.
They run the Cincinnati. They're called the Traveling Museum of the Occult. So you have people asking questions like you do with a spirit box or EVP.
Yeah.
But then the person who's plugged in is, whenever they hear something, they say it out loud. And it is kind of weird.
Yeah. And isn't the person supposed to be in a separate room asking the questions?
Sometimes they're in the same room.
Okay. Because in the Charm City one, the clip I saw was someone they were in separate rooms.
Yeah.
And
I think that would be like an extra method of security. It would be like, okay, you're going to be even further removed from what we're doing in here.
Yeah. Oh man, no, that I would want to be the question asker and not the headphone person.
Mm-hmm.
I would be too freaked out to be the headphone person.
Hell yeah, they did it in the TNT zone in Point Pleasant.
Yeah,
sort of like Mothman territory.
Yeah, Mothman territory.
And I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. What's going on this weekend?
Oh, Mothman Fest
next year.
Next year
we'll be hitting up the Mothman Festival.
Next year we definitely gotta hit it up. Oh man, but that is like, it's a very sparse. I know it's a very sparse episode, but yeah, that's the hauntings of Waynesville.
Yeah, we got a little spooky town.
Yeah, again, it was like a furious research to try to find something new, because I'm like, man, I cannot do the Ridges the justice it deserves.
Yeah, no, Ridges is a huge topic.
Like that,
there's so much going on there.
Yeah, that might be something we have to tackle together.
Yeah, that's where we've been discussing, trying to figure out what we want to do for Halloween, since it's coming up.
Season. Yeah,
and we're talking about maybe I like doing a 2-parter, or maybe having some more guests come on.
Yeah.
We're also talking about doing a live stream.
We're talking about doing a live stream.
We'll read ghost stories, maybe watch some videos.
Maybe watch some scary videos.
Maybe you could have it set up so people can call in on Discord or something like that.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's like Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
Like
Space Ghost Coast to Coast AM?
Yeah.
We'll combine it.
Yeah.
I'll be Brack.
Oh, cool, because I like Zorak.
But yeah, so if you'd be interested in watching us do a live stream, reading stories and stuff like that, let us know.
Yeah,
because we've been talking about doing that. So
I would also I want to know. We're also looking into doing another, being a guest on another podcast. We've a beer podcast has reached out to us by a friend of mine, and you might see us on there.
If you have a thing where you just need two wacky boys who like ghosts, come on.
Like ghosts and cryptids, we're right here. And I'd also like to see if we could just do a Halloween episode where maybe it's not on we're talking about a haunting or a cryptid, but we just talk about things we like about Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Like a fun episode of hey, what do you like to do for the Halloween season?
I could talk about on the last podcast I did, which eventually I do want to reboot. I talked about getting terrified as a child.
Yeah.
When my music teacher played us what she said was the recording of a banshee.
What?
And it went into detail about how you could hear it was the banshee singing, and then the last sound is the banshee removing somebody's Adam's apple.
Whoa! Wait, your music teacher?
Yeah,
did
I was
this?
in the second or third grade.
Whoa! Okay.
And I found the song. It's like a song that somebody's playing the piano. I can't remember the method style, but it's basically, instead of hitting the keys, they open up the piano and play the pluck up the strings.
Whoa!
And yeah, I was like, what's going on with this teacher?
What, dude? My music teacher, used to play this fucking silly this song record thing, and it had different monsters basically singing to you, but they were all creepy, extremely creepy voices. And she would turn out all the lights, and we'd have to hold hands like we were fucking performing a seance or some shit. And my music teacher used to scare the shit out of me during Halloween. With that, and then the song about the ghost of John.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I know that one.
Do you know the ghost of John? Long white bones, his skin all gone. Wouldn't it be chilly with no skin on?
Maybe I'm.
Yeah, that's the one she used to sing. My first grade music teacher used to sing at all the fucking time during Halloween.
Music teachers are different, man.
Music and art
different.
teachers. Music and art teachers are different. they're exactly what you see in cartoons.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of the cartoon art and music teachers are not a parody. That is what they are.
That's just them.
That's just who they are.
So anyways, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
Follow us on all our various social medias if you haven't done that already.
Yes, please do.
Try to be
more active.
Push us. Demand your loved ones listen to us, or else you'll disown them. I'll be your dad. I am your dad now. Erica's your uncle. Don't go camping.
I am your uncle.
Do not go camping with us.
Do not go camping. Don't go camping. No, you can go camping. It's fine.
Go camping with Eric.
It's okay. I'm not a very good camper. My experience is just Ren Fair camping. I'm not a very good camper.
I want to be more camping.
Yeah.
Maybe we could camp for Mothman.
Oh, man.
Moth camp. But yes, so follow us on all the social medias.
Yes.
There'll be a link in the thing. Send us emails. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know your stories. Until next time.
Everybody.
Stay spooky. Stay nice.
Bye-bye. Bye.